What the world y'all doing this morning? Just left the gas station on my way to work. Shout out to everybody that's up before the sunrise, doing whatever they gotta do to provide. There was a comment that I saw overnight that it inspired me to make this video. And I wanted to say, this is titled, shout out to all the perfect people, or the perfect religious or spiritual, whatever you call yourself in this world. Because one thing I'll never, ever is one claim to be perfect or try to portray myself as perfect, because I believe that's why the youth of the world rejects anything that comes from those above us, is because they are unconsciously hypocritical. And there's a scripture, so every morning I listen to Grace for Purpose. It's a channel on YouTube that just makes like a little scripture, and it just happens to go with today. And the comment on it is kind of just like I said, God works in mysterious ways. And I'm gonna just play a little snippet of it. I'm sure you can hear it in the video.
One of the things that I love about the Lord is that He loves to go to the places where He can find those who have been rejected, those who have been hurt and abandoned. He loves to go to places that no one else is willing to go. In fact, in Mark chapter 2, verse 15 to 17, the Bible says, while Jesus was having dinner at Levi's house, many tax collectors and sinners were eating with him and his disciples, for there were many who followed him. When the teachers of the law, who were Pharisees, saw him eating with the sinners and tax collectors, they asked his disciples, "Why does he eat with tax collectors and sinners?" On hearing this, Jesus said to them, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." You see, Jesus makes it his business to go and find himself in situations where there are those who've been forgotten, those who have been denied, shunned away and pushed to the side. God loves to connect to the people who others consider to be outcasts. And I wonder how many people are listening right now, because of some difficulty in your life, you feel disconnected.
And so the comment has said that I shouldn't talk about God if I cuss, because God won't bless me. And I acknowledge I was born into sin. True story, I really be working on cussing. I'll be on the basketball court and I miss a shot, and I catch myself sometimes, other times I don't. But what I've learned before I start speaking publicly, I was watching all these mega pastors and Christian singles coaches and whatever it is on TV, and I was just looking at how hypocritical it was. Either they gluttony, or they not overweight, they sexually active, telling you what not to do. It's just, I'm not about to be another person preaching to you about what you're doing wrong. I'm gonna be that one person. I'm just trying to live by the best example I can. And when I get better every day, then the people who want to copy you will copy you. I raised 7 children. I have 4 sons right now. When I say the way I improve every single day is rubbing off on my children, that's what matters. But if I spend all my time not really trying to improve myself and just telling them what they should do, how they should carry themselves, that was my daddy's message. My daddy was saying, don't do what I do what I say. And unless the individual that said, hey, just giving you a heads up, you shouldn't cuss. I'm not knocking that at all, but I want to know, how did you become perfect? Because you may not cuss, smoke, drink. Do you eat too much? when a woman walk by, do you catch a lustful eye? Like, all of them are sins, and I understand no one sin is greater than the other. Me slipping up and saying a cuss word ain't no different than somebody murdering somebody, than somebody committing adultery. Like, when we're looking at this from an honest, genuine perspective, and try to not invite, but include the world in healing and growing and becoming better people. Right now, more than ever, children are born into sin. And we got to acknowledge that a lot of that sin is fun. It's enticing, especially the younger you get exposed to it, the harder it is to let go of it. And if we going to give out the message that you can't talk about God or Christ until you perfect, man, look here. You're going to make a lot of people not even want to make the attempt to get better. And I'm just trying to be a living example of that. I know every day is something I need to work on, whether it's my language or doing the extra foot, whatever, right? Like, I'm really a genuine human in this thing called life. I'm not living in a different world. I still shop at Price Chopper. People still try to sell me food stamps when I walk in the grocery store. So to say that I don't hear curse words every single day of my life, it'd be lying. I think we all have family members that cuss. We all got a family member that's an alcoholic. We all got a family member that's in jail. Or maybe not. Maybe you one of the few who don't have to deal with those situations in the world. My wife's cousin, he just went back to jail like 2 days ago. Russell, hope you get out soon. But that's just the real world. And those are the people who need to know, man, no matter what you're going through, no matter how ugly it is, God is with you. Because them are the people that's one step away from no hope, to quit and to throw it in the towel and saying, I don't care. I'm going to hurt myself and hurt everybody around me. But if you ain't trying to deal with those type of people and you only trying to deal with the perfect individuals, then I understand. DMX used to pray at his concerts. You know, when I was driving my red and yellow Monte Carlo at 5 a.m., because I had left one girl's house and went home and went to sleep for about 30 minutes until I had to go pick this other girl up from work. And the car pulled up behind me. I pulled out in front of an F-150. F-150 smacked me, spinning. I didn't have a seatbelt on. I hopped out. My ear was cut in half and I was bleeding, but outside that, I was perfectly fine. I wasn't talking about God. I was living super ratchet and reckless, but I know He was protecting me then. See, I'm not of the belief that you got to be perfect for God to bless you or see your heart. But once again, that's how we all individually have a relationship with God. It's a phone call, not a conference call. And that's what I really want to highlight in this channel. Who am I to show you because you atheist? Who am I to show you because you gay? Or you going through a period in your life where you questioning what you want to do? I'm here to show you when you get done questioning yourself, God was right there with you the whole time, letting you know you was perfect. That's what because I had to accept myself and realize that I was perfect. It's a paradox to be the poorest kid in school, but to be the most popular kid in school. So you're always trying to make up and overcompensate, and you want these cars, and you want these rims, and you want speakers in the trunk, and you want every pair of Jordans, and the Jordans got to match the t-shirt, and the t-shirt got to match the hat. I've been there, done that. But I know how insecure I was when I was focused on those things. And when I got tired of buying the rims and painting the cars and all that, God was right there with me the whole time. Like, bro, I told you, you was straight. It ain't that. What you doing? Why are you trying to get all this material stuff when I done gave you this body? Take care of your body. Go eat healthy. Go work out. Everything I gave you, you need to be successful. I already gave you. And that's the message. And the more Christ, God, works on the universe, works on my heart, I slowly eat better. I slowly lift weights. It's less and less cuss words. Like, I understand I'm a work in progress. This is a digital diary. So if you hear me cuss, what's this, 2023? By 2033, you may look back like, I can't even imagine Johnny speaking like that, because we all are evolving in this thing called life. It's a kid right now who in high school that think he's gay, that he grow up and he gonna have a wife and 4 kids. We all get caught up in this world if we ain't got no parents to protect us. And truthfully, most parents are too busy dealing with their own BS or their own trauma, or they trying to creep and have a sneaky link that the children are just out vulnerable. You know, one of the worst statements I've ever heard in my life are black people, y'all stupid, because these kids are innocent babies born into these environments where my son was getting in trouble all the time when he was in Texas, but nobody told him what he was getting in trouble for. He was copying what he was seeing on TV. He was copying out other kids. Nobody was setting a proper example. So when you got the blind leading the blind, what do you expect the outcome to be? I say, man, there's no such thing as bad children. There's just bad parents. But most parents don't know they bad parents because they copying who? They parents. So when you can step back and empathize with these people a little more, you lead by example. You know, try to correct by, hey, because that ain't what you know. When somebody come to you and try to lecture you and talk, how does that rub you? If you don't listen at all, if you play sports, did your coach get across better when he yell at you when you make a mistake on the court, and when he pull you to the side and say, hey, you could have, that backdoor read was right there, you could have bounced past it, could have caught it, make the layup, try next time. We all are humans in this world. For some reason, we forget that how it feels when someone talks nice to us, or how one lets us know they care about us, that we matter. And I'm just trying to be that. My grandma was really nice. My daddy's mama, my mama's mama was hella mean. And there was this lady named Penella Ann that was on my daddy's side of the family that she was mean to me one time when I was like 8 years old, and I never forgot it. And when she died, I still didn't want nothing to do with her because she was just so mean. And I feel like as kids, we don't forget how people treat us. However, for some reason, a lot of people hold on to that, and when they grow up, they start treating people the same way. Don't you remember what it was like to be talked down to be belittled, to make you feel like you was stupid or you was wrong? No one out here looks at themselves every day and say, what could I do better? What could I improve? We spend our time looking outwardly at the world, criticizing the world. And I don't know, I think that gives a lot of people a false sense of morality. When I look out at the world, I promise I see myself. When I see the young girl on OnlyFans, I know a part of me when I was young was making bad decisions. When I see the man that's selling drugs, I know a part of me who I didn't have guidance, so that's where I wanted to go. When I see the young boy in handcuffs on his way to jail, I see a part of myself because I know I could have went all these different routes. But they say God protects fools and babies. When they say Allah protect fools and babies, that was in the Quran. And we all are just fools for a period of time if we don't have good protection. And once again, the individuals that are, almost perfect, who came from good mothers and good fathers, hey, shout out to y'all. I couldn't imagine. I truly sometimes sit and wonder what it would have been like to have good parents. To have parents that didn't smoke every day and drink every day and fist fight each other and, had a music blasting at 2, 3 a.m. and having you drive them to the club. I truly wonder what that would have been like. But it's something I can't experience. All I know is Section 8 and inspections every year, hiding my daddy's things, and my daddy working under the table jobs. And it's a lot of people who they trying to become better, but when you got the individuals that's up here looking down instead of trying to pull you up, that's why we got so much division in the world now. We got to know the devil thrive off that. So let's start looking at everybody and what we got in common. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be able to take care of our family. It's this movement right now that you see in the world with childless and women being happy. But man, there's the last chick I was just working with, she was 27. She wants a baby really bad. Actually, her boyfriend made her put her 2 weeks notice in because he wasn't comfortable with her working with me. He said, I guess I look kind of good. But I asked this other guy, he said he wouldn't want his girl around me every day. But I'm not Mr. Steal Your Girl no more. That's Johnny from 10 years. 10 years ago, you probably had to worry about me being around your chick. Now I'm respectful, I promise. But there's a new girl working there. She's 28. She says she doesn't want a kid, but she's kind of pushing her boyfriend to marry her, so I think she's capping. And then there's this other lady that I was just talking to, Laura, yesterday, where she was saying how she's, 60 and bought into the narrative of the world. She was married for 11 years, divorced her husband, and, went out and did her hot girl thing, and now she looks back and wish she wouldn't have listened to the movement. So we are just people, individually. And I think it's a blessing to be able to use this platform to be honest about that. I don't want to seem perfect because that's what Hollywood do. And we know they live in a fake life. So if their life is perfect, and then you got the Christians that are perfect, well, in the bottom is just what side are we supposed to go to? How do we get enticed to, how do we get pulled to the good or the bad, quote unquote? When you're a 5-year-old kid and you got remember in cartoons they had the angel and the devil on your shoulder, how do you know which side to go to? If neither one of them really are being honest about what comes to their life, because Hollywood makes it seem like it's all fun and games. It's all cool to be sleeping with all these girls until somebody show up and key your car and pop up at your job. All these things is cool. It's cool to sell drugs until you got a RICO case. It's cool to be, hot-headed until you in a shootout. That's the side that Hollywood sells. But I think on this side, the reason there's so many marriage failures or divorces is because on this side they don't talk about sex. They pretend that they just been perfect. Whole abstinence. We don't watch nothing on TV. We don't listen to bad music, and it's like something got to be getting done, or all these marriages wouldn't be divorced. It wouldn't be 50% divorce rate. It wouldn't be all these side babies. I done seen a bunch of pastors leaving with other women in the church. It wouldn't be all these gay boys in the church right now if it wasn't other things being going on. So it's like we gotta either honestly address it or keep living in this false reality that you can only talk about God when you're perfect. And the reason the world is going the way it is because if you can only talk, who is ever gonna reach Jesus' status realistically? I think Larry Bird would say Michael Jordan was Jesus in tennis shoes, but on real talk though, whoever is gonna be perfect is Christ. Nobody. So if we saying that you got to be to the level of Christ or don't even attempt at all, then if you think what the world look like now, it's gonna rev up. Or if you give the message, 1% better every day, one step towards, improving, one step towards cleaning out the spirit. Read one verse a day, doing one kind gesture a day. It's like, for myself, Albert Einstein said if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't know what you're talking about. And I look at the concept of being born in sin and letting Christ into your heart is like a swimming pool, right? Like when the pool is clean and a kid peeing in, everybody got to get out and you got to wait. And though you can't see nothing happening, slowly it's getting clean and the dirty stuff is coming out. And the process takes a while. It don't just right away, all right, swimming pool is clean, guys, get right back in. No, you got to wait. And you looking at the water, you don't see no transition happening. Like I say, that's me right now. You probably don't see nothing change on the inside of me. That don't mean God ain't working on me. Like I said, I'll never meet a lot of you beautiful people to watch this channel, but I know God is working on you. I know you had your good days and your bad days. You had days when you say you ain't gonna drink, and then you work a little hard and you pick up the bottle. You say you done smoking and somebody stressed you out and you say, hey, pass me the blunt. We humans. I promise we humans, man, and I'm never gonna pretend that I'm not a regular human, I got all kind of filters turned on all my social media. I don't want to see no super fine big beauty girls. Nah, man, go on, because it's tempting, and the devil know what your weakness is. My daddy don't go past the liquor store, because my daddy. Stop in there and get a camo, let me get a Budweiser, get a Coke 45, get some Newport shorts. Now, I remember buying cigarettes for my daddy when I first turned 18, and it's the difference between Newport shorts and longs. I don't really know what the difference is, but you go home and you got the wrong pack of cigarettes and daddy upset at you. Man, I love my parents. Whether it's my mama having me pick her up from the club or my daddy having me go to some apartment because my mama was cheating on him and had me beating up some random man. We all just humans born into these crazy families. We didn't pick them, but God gave us our mother and our father for a reason. And I say forgive them. They did the best they could with the knowledge they had. And where you are in this life right now, like exactly at this point, this is where you're supposed to be. To learn, to grow. And then what you grow and what you learn in this world, you can share with the people around you. That's literally the dopest part about this. I don't know if Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was like, hey, people gonna be able to listen to what I was saying in 2023, but I grabbed that. Like, I know these videos are gonna be timeless, and I don't know who gonna see them. Just like Wayne Dyer don't know I'll be watching his content, or Bob Proctor, all these great individuals but I really hope to just leave a positive influence on a lot of people's hearts, that there are no limits to what you can accomplish, no matter where you come from, no matter how down bad you can be, no matter what type of sin you committed. God ain't judging you. Man may judge you, man may tell you you ain't good enough, man may tell you you can't talk about God until you X, Y, and Z. If God is in your heart, right here, it ain't my job to tell you what type of relationships to have with Christ. It's just my job to lead you to have a relationship overall. Follow that path. You see all these people going this way, and you see the outcome they've been getting. Just try something new. Like I said, I started with reading a verse a day. And now, man, I listen to verses every morning. I listen to verses when I'm inside my job. But a lot of Neville Goddard, Dr. Joseph Murphy, a lot of those books, when you read and they work, they have Bible verses inside them as well. They're like, hold on. And it correlates it together. So that's really where I'm coming from the angle at. But have a super mega awesome day. I got to get in, clock in. Never be too proud to pray. Be happy, be happy, be happy. Smile. Blessings are always on the way. There's a gift inside of you. You know what you love to do. Shine your light. This world wants you broken. It wants you sad. Ignore all that, man. Every single one of us has the potential to just do astronomical things. We outie. I love you, baby. I promise I want to share love and virtual hugs with everybody that's rocking with me, because we really overcoming an ugly time in the world, and it's dope. It's super lit. We out, baby. Peace.